What's up guys, Random Razor here with another tech video for you guys today, and today we're going to check out Apple's official cases for the all-new iPhone 11, 11 Pro, and 11 Pro Max. So of course, without further ado, let's slice this open and check them out. So like every year, Apple releases a new set of cases for their iPhones, relatively the same model, just fitted for the new phone. Now, rather than doing 3 separate reviews on them, I'm going to do them all in one video so you guys can kind of compare them. We have the Apple leather folio case, leather case, silicone case, and clear case. Now, keep in mind this video was made a week before the actual iPhone 11 is released, so to show you guys what these cases look like on the iPhone 11, I do have a replica iPhone 11 here to give you guys a representation of what it does look like for those of you who wants to get a case and have it ready for your phone. So the first case we're going to check out here is the most expensive one, and that is the iPhone 11 Pro Max leather folio. In Canada, this thing retails for $179, which I definitely bit my tongue on when I saw the price for this. In the States, I believe it's around $150-ish about there, but nonetheless still a very expensive iPhone case. Like every year, it is made of a genuine leather material, very high grade, premium, soft to the touch, very well stitched together on the sides. One thing I want to note is the Apple logo is also in the same position as the new iPhone logo, which is dead center now. So we'll pop this piece of packaging off. We'll grab my replica iPhone here. I'm just going to peel this off as well and slap it in the case. And that's what it's going to look like. So here it is. The nice thing about the folio case is that you do get front protection for the top of the screen here. On the interior of the flap, we also have 2 slots for your credit cards, gift cards, debit cards, as well as cash or whatever else that may fit in there. The case portion here also lips just above the iPhone screen, and it wraps all the way around the phone with the exception of the bottom. You also have covers for the power button and the volume rockers on the other side here, and the buttons themselves are made of a separate plasticky material, which is kind of nice, and they do feel like actual buttons, and a tiny little cutout for the vibrate and ringer switch. Lastly, on the back, you have the only case in the world that can legally have the Apple logo stamped on the back, and a precision cutout for the triple lens setup on the new iPhone 11. One feature that I can't really show you guys on the fake iPhone 11 here is that the folio case does have a magnetic unlock and lock feature, so when you open the flap, it automatically turns the screen on your phone. And that is a look at the Apple leather folio case. My conclusion on this, I think it's a great case, very overpriced, but I don't think most of you who are interested in this case would be disappointed. My only real gripe with the Apple leather folio, aside from the price, is the fact that they were unable to cover the bottom, which is the case for pretty much all the Apple cases. It's also a pretty easy case to take off. I forgot to mention that. You just grab the sides, pick a corner, pry it off with your fingers, and it pops out like so. The next case that we're going to check out here is the leather case, which is basically the leather folio case minus the flap. If I can just get this out. This is the black model, comes in a multitude of different colors if you're not a fan of black. And you can see here, just like the leather folio, you have the Apple logo stamped on the back. And yeah, it's essentially the same as the leather case, except no folio flap. So we'll pop our replica iPhone 11 in. Fits like a glove. You can see here the leather wraps nicely around the border of the iPhone and just above the display, so you have a bit of lay-on-table protection, you could say, where the screen doesn't make contact with the table. There's also dedicated buttons for the power button, volume rockers, as well as a cutout for the vibrate and ringer switch, and just like the folio case, they do feel like actual buttons when you press on them. On the bottom, you have full access to your speakerphone, microphone, as well as your lightning port. Last but not least, on the back here, you have a precise cutout for the triple lens setup, and of course the Apple logo that I showed you guys earlier, and the entire back as well as the sides are wrapped in leather, which you can see is a single piece. So for those of you who are a fan of the Apple leather cases but you don't want the folio part and save yourself a few bucks from the folio case, the leather Apple case is a great choice. But once again, like I mentioned before, the bottom part here is unprotected, which I kind of wish Apple somehow engineered something to protect the bottom. And that is the Apple leather case. Second last case that we have here is the Apple silicone case. The silicone case offers a multitude of different colors, more than the leather cases. This one here is obviously the product red model. Doesn't come in as fancy packaging as the leather cases. I believe it just opens from the side. So here is the Apple silicone case. One thing I forgot to mention about the leather cases is that all the Apple cases, the silicone, the leather, and the leather folio have this microfiber back to it, so it's very soft to the touch and protects the back glass of the iPhone. So this is pretty much identical to the Apple leather case, except instead of wrapped in leather, it is wrapped in some sort of soft silicone material. Has a bit of a rubbery feel to it, so you could argue it adds a bit of grip, but that's pretty much the main difference between the two, is just the material. So we'll slap our fake iPhone 11 in once again. This is what it looks like, pretty sharp with the red and black contrast. The case does lip just above the glass display of the iPhone, so you do have a bit of top protection, minus the bottom, of course, once again. On the sides, you have a tiny little cutout for the vibrate and ringer switch, covers for the volume rockers, as well as a cover for the power button, sorry. Lastly, on the back here, we do have a Apple logo, which is, I'm not sure if it's printed or stamped, but there is one on the back here, centered, and a precision cutout for the triple lens on the iPhone 11. Between the silicone case and the leather case, the leather one definitely has a much more premium look and feel to it, but if you just don't really care for that, want to save a few bucks, then the silicone case is not a bad choice, as you can pick a multitude of different colors compared to the leather ones. And that is a quick look at the Apple silicone case for the iPhone 11 Pro and Max. Last but not least is the iPhone 11 clear case, which is not a new case, but new for the premium phones this year. This was first introduced for the iPhone XR last year, but it appears Apple has brought this for all the iPhones now for this year. So here's the Apple clear case, and you can see why it's clear. It is really crystal clear. Very similar to the power support air jacket case I reviewed last year, except this is the Apple version. Really nice polished finish. There's no creases or anything like that, so it's definitely one of the better designed clear cases out there, especially for the price that you're going to pay for this. So here's our iPhone 11 once again. Put it button side first, and it pops into place. So for those of you who want to show off the iPhone color of your phone, especially the new midnight green, then the clear case is definitely the way to go. It pretty much doesn't hinder anything on the iPhone. Everything's crystal clear, the Apple logo, the color, as well as the sides. In regards to materials, it is a hard shell case. It is all plastic. The only rubber material is actually for the volume rockers here, which they feel like actual buttons. A little stiffer than the other ones, but those are covered with some sort of rubber or TPU material. Just like the other Apple cases, the plastic does lip just above the glass display here, so you have a decent amount of top protection. And of course, you are missing bottom protection here, like all the Apple cases, unfortunately. Not much else to say, but definitely one of the more nicer clear cases I reviewed during the past few years. Really crystal clear, has a nice polished finish to it, so it should resist scratches, but because it's clear plastic, this will definitely show more wear than the silicone case or the leather one. Anyways, that is a quick look at the Apple clear case. Overall, guys, in regards to my personal preference on which case I like, my favorite has always been the Apple Folio case here, just because you get top protection. I love the leather that Apple uses. I did find a workaround for the bottom part here, where I bought a skin for my iPhone, which is like a sticker, and they have skins for the sides of the iPhone, so I pretty much just cut that out, stuck it on the bottom of the iPhone once I put the case on, so I more or less have some sort of protection for the bottom. But that definitely is a big gripe for me, that Apple for the last few years hasn't introduced some sort of bottom protection, whereas many other third-party companies like OtterBox, Spec, Tech21, all those brands were able to do that. So for those of you who want an Apple case to match your Apple phone, then this is definitely the way to go. If protection is your priority, I would recommend other third-party cases like OtterBox or Spec, those other brands, just because they do have thicker cases, and they're companies that are geared towards one thing only, and that is iPhone cases, which I think they do a better job at protecting. Whereas Apple cases here, they're more for the aesthetics and a bit of protection. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you all enjoyed the video. If you guys have any questions or comments about these cases, or if you have a preference for one of these cases or another third-party brand, let me know in the comment section there down below. Hit that like button, as always helps me out, and I'll see you all in the next video.